ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं श्रीकृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। नमो महावदान्याय कृष्णा प्रेम प्रदायिने कृष्णाय कृष्णा चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्वसे नमः। पंचतत्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकम्। श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। जन्माद्यस्य यतोऽन्वयादितरतश्चार्थेषुभिज्ञस्वराट् तेने ब्रह्महृदायादिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत्सूरयः। तेजो वारिमृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। स्वस्ति अस्तु विश्वस्य खलः प्रसीदतां ध्यायन्तु भूतानि शिवं मिथो धिया मनश्च भद्रं भजतादधोक्षजे आवेश्यतां नो मतिरप्यहेतुकी। Reading from Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 89, verse number 57. In the previous class, we read how Arjuna, he felt very despondent because he was not able to protect the child of the Brahmana, and as he has taken a vow, he decided to immolate himself. But then Sri Krishna came to his rescue and he told him that he will show him the children of the Brahmana, and he called his divine chariot, and they both went in the westerly direction, crossed all the layers, the 8 layers of the universe, and then came to Brahma Jyoti, and after that they saw Purushottama Uttama. So that is being described here. Sunandananda Pramukhai Swaparshadai Chakradibhi Murti Dharair Niyajayadhai Pushtya Shriya Kirtya Jaya Khilardhabir Nishevyamanam Parimeshthinapatim. So it is being described what they saw there. So they saw this gigantic form of Vishnu with 8 hands, and he was surrounded by his associates, headed by Sunanda and Nanda, who had the various weapons on their form or their body, Murti Dharai Nijayudhai. He was also being served by the various Shaktis as like Pushti, Shri, Kirti, Jaya, and so on. So he is called here as Parmeshtinampati, or the ruler of the various Brahmas, because he is the master of all the universes. So in this way they had the vision of Vishnu. Chakradi bhir murti dharairiti swaswa mastako tattat chinna yuktai. So Vishnu Chakrati says that this forms of the weapons, they were in the form only of symbols which they had put on their head and their crown, the various symbols. Bhavanda atmanam anantamachyuto jishnusya taddarshana jata sadhvasa tavaha bhuma parameshtinam prabhur baddhanjali sasmitam urjaya gira. At that time Sri Krishna, he greeted or prayed to him, this Bhuma Purusha, and also Arjuna, who is called here as Jishnu. He was sort of having some apprehension seeing him, and then when they bowed down to him, the Bhuma Purusha, the great Vishnu form, spoke to them who were standing with joined palms in front of him. So Prabhur Tau Bhuma Aha Parmeshtinam, the Lord of the Parmeshthis Brahmas, he spoke in a very firm sound voice, full of energy. Atmanam Vavande. So Krishna worshipped him, and he said that he worshipped himself because this is his own form. Iti Govardhan Pujayam Tasmai Namo Vrajjanai Saha Chakreya Atmana Atmane Itivat Leela Kautuk Matrameva. So this was a pastime of Lord Krishna, that he is worshipping this Bhuma Purusha. He says it was just like that Krishna worshipped Govardhan earlier, who was his own manifestation. So just as he did there, along with other people, all the Brajvasis, they worshipped Govardhan. So now here he is worshipping this form, that is his own form. And this form is called Ananta. Anantamiti Atmano Asankhya Swarupena Anantyat. So it is called Ananta because Krishna has unlimited forms, and this is one of them. Sopi Ashtbhuja Eka Atma Ityartha. And this 8-handed form is also one of his form. Krishna is called Achyuta here in this verse. Vavande Atmanam Anantam Achyuto. Achyuta iti narlilatva rakshanarthameva. So Achyuta means one who does not fall down. So he says that he does not deviate from his human-like pastime. And because he is acting like a human, therefore he is worshipping the Bhuma form, who is his own manifestation. So for that sense, the word Achyuta has been used. So Bhuja Ishwar Leela Etadansopi Tam Na Vanditvan iti bhava. And that just as Krishna is performing his Nar Leela, human-like pastime, the 800 form of Bhuma Purusha is also acting as a Ishwar Leela, as Supreme Ishvara. So he also received the worship and did not worship Krishna. Jat sadhvasa prapt sambhramaiti. Arjuna became full of fear, which means that he was full of awe and respect. That's what sadhvasa means. Krishnadapi ayam adhik aishwaryavaniti labdha pratiti kaitiyartha. Why he thought that this Bhuma Purusha has got more Aishwarya than Krishna himself. Bhuma iti Sri Govardhan Puja Grahiya Krishna Saiva Krishnadapi Adhikyena Darshita Darshitat Mahatva. And this form is called Bhuma. Bhuma means great. So he says that this form is Bhuma, just as the Govardhan form which manifested during the Govardhan Leela, that form was gigantic in size. But that was also Krishna. And Krishna was small, who was feeding him. So like that, this form is also big, huge, gigantic, and Krishna was small in front of that form. So it is to show that this is in Aishwarya, showing the Mahatmya, Darshita Mahatmya. Parmeshtinam Koti Brahmandasta Chaturmukha Nam. He is called Parmeshtinam Pati, that there are millions of Brahmandas, and all these Brahmandas have Brahma, one Brahma in each one of them. And this Bhuma Purusha is the master of all those Brahmas. Therefore he is called as the Lord of Brahmas. Urjaya Pragalbhaya iti. And he spoke with a lot of urja, which means Pragalbha means very boldly, like a big Lord, Master. Shri Krishna Abhipraya Nurupaya Tathaiva Arjunam Mohitumiti Bhava. There are those who have the Bhattaji book, there are 2 lines missing here after Shri Krishna Abhipraya Nurupaya. So he spoke and he acted which was appropriate to what Krishna wanted. So Krishna wanted that Bhuma Purusha acts or is seen like a big God, big Lord, so that's how he acted. So this is to bewilder Arjuna. And he was smiling, Sasmitamiti Twadabhiprayaneva Twadanso Api Aham Swasva Adhikyam Svakyena Prakti Karomi. So the sense of his smiling was that as if he was saying to Krishna that I am following your intention, although I am your expansion, part expansion, but I am showing myself as superior to you. But with my words I will show that you are superior to me. That's why he was smiling. Vastutastu tasminneva vakye tavaiva rupa guneshwarya adhikyam madansitvam cha dyotyami. But in reality, in my own statement, I am going to show that you are my amshi, means you are my source and I am your part, and you are superior to me in form, quality, etc. Pashya me chaturyam. Look at my smartness, how I will do it. That's what he is indicating. Tvayapi pasyad arjunaya स्वतत्वम अवश्यम ज्ञाप्यमिति स्मितेन प्रार्थना च द्योतिता. And as if by smiling he is also requesting Arjuna that later on you should also explain to Arjuna the reality, that how actually you are superior and not me. So that is the significance of Sasmit Urjaya Gira. That smilingly he spoke the following words. So this is what he said, and this is a very little mystical sloka. Dvijatmaja me yuvyor didrikshuna mayopnita bhuvi dharma guptaye kalavatirna vane bharasunan Hatveha bhuyastvaryetam me. So he said that these children of the Brahmana have been brought by me. Why? Because I am eager to see both of you. You. So Arjuna is also included. He wanted to see not only Krishna but also Arjuna. So therefore it's a yuvyo didrikshuna maya upnita and bhuvi dharma guptaye kalavatirno. You have descended on earth for protecting it. And kalavatirno, so that this verse can have two meanings. One meaning is which fits the general flow, as if this Bhuma Purusha is superior to Krishna and Krishna is just an expansion of it. So Kalavatirno can mean the first sense, as if Bhuma is the superior, that you have manifest here as a part of me. And Asuran Hatva he bhuyastvaretamanti. And after killing the Asuras, quickly you should come back to me. So that is the one meaning. But the hidden meaning is that you have appeared on earth with all your potencies and kill these asuras and send them to me, so that, because that is where asuras go after becoming killed by Krishna, they attain Sahyajya Mukti, and that's where he is, this Brahmajyoti is there. So that is another meaning. That hatva hiya bhuyas tvareyatamanti. So that you can send them here. So one is tvaraya itam anti me. That is one meaning. Another is tvaryetam anti is the verb itself. Tvaryetam. By Nich Pratyaya will explain that. Jiva Goswami gives long explanation. The sloka was also discussed in Krishna Sandarbha. Yes, same explanation was given there. Much detail. Sri Vishwanath Chakravarti also gives not so much detail but explains. So Yuvyor me kalaya avtirnau iti sambodhanam. So kala avtirnau, he says that you are my kala, you are my part and you have manifested here. Shigram me anti samay pe ite agachatam iti Arjuna moha prayojako artha. And after killing the asuras, quickly you come to here, come to me. So this is the meaning which comes when you see the verse in a cursory manner. Don't pay much attention, then it looks like that. And this is also to put Arjuna in moha, because Arjuna is made to believe that this Bhuma Purusha is a big person, has more Aishwarya than Krishna. Vastavarthastu, the true meaning is as follows. Hey Kalavtirno, Kalavtirno is an address. So one meaning is that you are my Kala, my parts. Other is that Kalabhi Swashakti Bhi Sahaiva Avtirno, that you have appeared here along with all your potencies. Bhuya Punarapi Yuvam Avne Bharan Asuran Hatva, and you kill these Asuras who are the burden of the earth and send them near me. Me anti mamantike tan prasthapetu tvariyetam. So tvariyetam then is taken as a whole vidhiling. So that is coming from the word tvar. Tvar is the verb. So tvaretam, but applied in tvareyetam. Tvareyetam, because two. Tamatam, antam. Nyantat langi rupam. So it's a nyanta dhatu. So he says lang rup. Ante iti avyayam. Ante is an avyaya, chaturthi antam. Atragatyate mukta bhavantu iti artha. The meaning is that these asuras, they will come here and become liberated. Tadhamno mukta gamyatvena harivansa uktatvat. So his abode has been described in Harivansa Purana as the place for the Mukta Purushas. Dvitiya skandha api kram mukti sritau ashtavaran bheda anantaram eva moksha shravanat. In the second canto also, when there is a description of krama mukti, there it is described that one becomes liberated only after clearing the 8 coverings of the universe. So there are two views about these coverings. One is that each universe is covered by 8 coverings. Other view is that each universe is not covered by 8 coverings, but there is a cluster of universes, and then the whole cluster is covered by the 8 coverings. That's how Jiva Goswami explains it. Purnakama vapi yuvam nar narayana rishi dharmam achartam sthitye rishibho loka sangraham. He says that although both of you are Purnakama, all your desires are satisfied, but you two who are Nar Narayana Rishi, the sages Nara and Narayana, you practice dharma or follow the principles of dharma for the maintenance of the world. You are the best, and you do it for the purpose of Lok Sangraha, means set an ideal for the people to follow. Achartam achartam. So achartam means that you do acharana, or you are doing acharana. Iti adishto bhagavata tau krishnau parameshthina omiti anamya bhumanam adaya dvijadarakan. So when Krishna and Arjuna were ordered in this way by Bhagavan Bhuma Purusha, then they said yes, Omiti Anamya, and bowed down to him. And Bhumanam Adaya Dvijadarakan. So they bowed down to the Bhuma Purusha and they got the children of the Brahmana. And now both of them are called here as Krishna. Krishna is Krishna, Arjuna is also called Krishna, therefore he says Tau Krishna. So this is to show that Arjuna is also not an ordinary person. He is a friend of Krishna and his name is also Krishna, means he has similar features like Krishna. Nyavartatam swakam dhama samprishto yathagatam vipradatta putran yatha rupam yathavaya. So then Krishna and Arjuna, they returned back to Dwarka, being very pleased. They came back as they had left, and they gave the children to the Brahmana, yatha rupam yathavaya, as they were in the age by the time they were grown up. Some of them would have been 9 years, because 9 children were killed. So yathavaya, rupam yathavaya. Nisamya Vaishnavam Dhama Partha Param Vismitah Yatkinchit Paurusham Pumsham Mene Krishnanukampitam. So after seeing the abode of Vishnu, Arjuna was supremely surprised, and then he understood that whatever exists in that Paurusha, the greatness, it is the grace of Krishna only. Whatever, anything great thing exists, this is all about Krishna. So there is a description now. Vishwanath Chakravarti explains a little more now about this Param Vismita. Why was he surprised? Param Vismita iti prathamam atyantik mahashvarya darshanena aho tavadaham panduputro martyopi Krishna prasadad eva sarmul bhutam parameshwaram apashyam iti vismita. So Param Vismita means supremely astonished. So there are 2 stages of his astonishment, Arjuna's astonishment. The first stage of his astonishment is that he thought, oh wow, what a wonder, I am just a mortal person, son of Pandu, and I was able to see this Mahapurusha, this Bhuma, only by the grace of Krishna. And in this way I was able to see the original source of all Ishwaras. So that is the first surprise, because he is thinking that he saw the original Purusha, Supreme Person. Yata kshanam paramrishya aho tena katham yuyor dirdukshna. But then he thought that if he is the original Purusha, why did he say that I got these Vipra's children? Because I was eager to see both of you. So this does not make any sense. So then he thought, Sarvadi Parameshwarasya Tasya Swamse Krishne Dirdiksha Katham Sambhavet. If he is the original person and Krishna is only a part manifestation of him, then how is that he wishes to see Krishna? This does not make sense. Sambhavtu vasa kadachit kintu didrikshata iti unaktva didrikshuna iti tachilya pratyena didrikshayaha sarvadikatvam buddhyate. Then he does little more subtle analysis of the word didrikshuna. So he says that, okay, even if Krishna is part expansion, maybe he got some desire to see him. But instead of saying that I wish to see you, he says that I wish to see you. So there is a difference. One is didrikshu. Didrikshu means that I wish, I have the wish to see you always. Because this drish dhatu and then san pratyaya is applied, and drish dhatu, it becomes didriksha. And then u is applied, san bhikshubhya u, that is applied on the Tachilya Artha, in the sense of one who has the nature like Jigyasu, means that's in the sense of seal, means the character. So it is not that he just had once the desire to see them, but he has the desire to see them. So this is interesting. Means this desire is always there, not just once. Bhavtuva sarvadiki didriksha dvarkastham krishnam vibhutvat swasrijya avishrijya vishwasya karkamala katulyatvacha tatra sthitya eva katham na pashyati. And then he says that, okay, let's say that he has the desire to see Krishna always. But then if he is the Mool Purusha, if he is the original God, then this whole universe is created by him and Krishna is his expansion. So if it is his creation, he can see it anytime he wants to see. It's like you can see an apple kept on your palm. So why is that he has to do all this and call us there? So katham na pashyati mastu va vibhutvam. Then he says that, okay, maybe he is not Vibhu, he is not everywhere, and that's why he wanted us to come there. But that also doesn't make sense. Vipra apatya haranartham prativarsham dwarka gacchati eva. He said that every year he went to Dwarka. In that case, every year he went to Dwarka to steal the child of the Brahmana. So then he could have seen Krishna. Tatretya tailika tambuladikadivi pradisyamanam krishnam katham ne pashyati. So he says that just as people who are selling oil or selling pan or selling things, they go around, they also see Krishna. So he could have also seen him there only. Why is that he has to call us here like this? Krishnasya ichham vina Krishna darshanam na bhaved iti chain mastu Krishna darshanam. So he says that without the will of Krishna, no one can have Krishna darshan, cannot see him. So then he says, let there be no darshan of Krishna. Brahmanya devo bhutvapi brahmanam prativarsham katham dukhyati. Vishnu is known as Brahmanya Deva, Namo Brahmanya Deva, Go Brahman Hitaja. So how is that he caused pain to the Brahmana when he actually is a worshipper of the Brahmana? Every year he caused so much pain to the Brahmana. Tan manye Krishna darshanot kantyam tyaktum api na shaknoti. So this means that he has the intense wish to see Krishna and he was not able to give it up. He went up to the extent of causing pain to the Brahmana to do that. Yadartham akrityam api kurute. And therefore he is doing something which is not to be done. Means some forbidden act he is doing. That is his intention to do that. Karotu akrityam api tadartham kintu viprapatyaharnam kamapi sevakam kim na prahinoti swam katham yati. Then he says, okay, even if he did some forbidden act to see us, then why is that he has to do it himself? He could have sent one of his associates. All these associates who are standing around him, Sunanda, Nanda, etc. They are very powerful. He could have sent them that you go and steal the baby of this Brahmana. Why he has to come himself? Tanmanye dvarakatas tad ahranam api annir dushakam. So from this I understand that it is not possible for anyone else to do that because it is Dwarka. And Dwarka is Krishna's city. No one else can bring death to Dwarka except Vishnu. Tasmat Krishna nagrastham vipram tatha dukhyami yatha dukkham sodhum asamartha Krishna mahyam darshanam dasyati tadabhipraya ugamyate. Therefore he thought that I will go to the city of Krishna, Dwarka, and I will trouble the Brahmanas so much that Krishna will not be able to tolerate the suffering of the Brahmana. And then he will give me his darshan. Ateva antaryami rupenaiva tenaiva prarito mukhro vipraha Krishna sannidhau agatya prati balak nashante tam gatham gayati. So therefore, whenever the boy of the Brahmana died, he will bring that boy in front of Krishna and sing the same song, same story every time, that all these Yadavas, they cannot do anything. So this was also inspired by the Bhuma Purusha, who also is Paramatma in the heart, so that Krishna will finally feel the pain and come to take the children. Tasmat tatopi asya krishnasya parameshwaryam adhikam anmiyate iti vibhyaya vibhavya param vismite. So all this shows that the opulence of Krishna is much more than that of Bhuma Purusha. So when he understood this, then he was truly astonished that this Krishna is so wonderful. Tatascha krishnameva prishtva tattvam avdhariyami iti vimrishya arjunena prishte sati krishnena uktam. So when Arjuna thought like this, then he wanted to confirm it, and then he asked Krishna himself that what is this story behind all this Brahmana boy dying, this, that. And then finally we went there and he said he is eager to see me. So then Krishna replied, and this part is not in Bhagavatam but in Harivansh Purana. This story is also told in Harivansh Purana, and there it is the sloka Maddarshanartham te bala hritasteina mahatmana viprarthamishyate Krishno mat samipam na channitha. So Krishna said that it is only to see me that this Bhuma Purusha has stolen the children of the Brahmana. And he knew that I will come for the sake of the Brahmana and I will not come for anything else. Maya tu viprartham api na gatam tat samipam kintu sakhyustav pranrakshartham eva. And Krishna said that actually I did not go there for the sake of the Brahmana. If I had to go there for the sake of Brahmana, I would have gone there the very first time the boy died. He says, I went because I didn't want you to die. That's why I went. Yadi viprartham aham agamishyat tada pratham balaka harnantaram eva khalu agamishyam. If I had to go for the sake of the Brahmana, I would have gone only the very first time the boy was stolen. Navave bale hate sati eva yasmad agamam tasmat na tasya anurodhat kintu tad anurodhat eva iti sarvam tattvam Krishna mukhat srutva arjuno yat kinchit parusham punsham parvyom nath paryanta namapi purushanam tat sarvam Krishnanukampitam Krishnaanukampit sampaditam eva mene. So because he went only after the 9th boy was died, and that was only for the sake of Arjuna and not for the sake of the Brahmana. So when Arjuna heard this from the mouth of Krishna himself, then he understood that whatever exists anywhere, including this Bhuma Purusha, is all because of Krishna. So that's what he says in this sloka, where we read that Yat Kinchit. So, Mene Krishnanukampitam. So, then Arjuna understood. So this was the true wonder or surprise. So this sloka and this story is very important to establish Krishna as Swam Bhagavan. So this whole thing started with the Shruti Stuti, and then the story of the Bhrigu Muni came, and then this. So all these things in line only to establish Krishna, that he is Swam Bhagavan. That is the real meaning behind these stories. So that's what he says here. So ityevam veda stavam arabhya eva tat katha paryantam atra dasam skandhante dasmasya ashrayatvasya krishnasya eva sarvotkarsha vivranam abhutiti gayam. So he says here very clearly that beginning from the Veda Stuti up to this story, at the end of this 10th canto, because this is the penultimate chapter, this is 89 and there are only 90 chapters. So here, when the 10th canto is coming to an end, then Sukadeva Goswami wants to establish Krishna's supremacy over all other avatars. And that's because Krishna is also the ashraya, the shelter of the 10th canto. There are 10 topics in Bhagavatam. Atra sarva visargascha sthanam poshnamute manavantare katha nirodha muktir ashraya. So ashraya is the 10th tattva which is described in Bhagavatam. And this 10th one is described in the 10th canto. And this 10th is the ultimate purpose of Bhagavatam. Dasmasya visuddhyartham navanamihe varnanam. So the description of the other 9 is only to understand the 10th one. So therefore this 10th is made very clear here. Idam tu Bharat yuddhat purvam eva kritamapi Shrestha Kathana Prastavena Atroktamiti Sri Swami Charana. Sridhar Swami has also said that this story happened before the battle of Kurukshetra. But it is being described here to establish the supremacy, the greatness of Krishna, because this is the end of this canto. Otherwise it will get lost. Iti sarartha darshinyam harshinyam bhakta chetsam unanavti tamodhyayo dasmo ajani sangata. So this ends the commentary on the 89th chapter of 10th canto by Sri Vishwanath Chakravarti called Sarartha Darshan. So this is amazing, this last 2-3 slokas, especially that I got the children because I wanted to see them. Nobody explains these verses like this. It's a very unique understanding. So this is the end of 89 and now we are in the last chapter of 10th canto. क्या
I just want to make sure that I understood properly. So basically, I understood that all the demons that Krishna kills go to this place where is Bhuma Purusha.
Yeah.
Right. And so how about Jaya and Vijaya that were at the door and they became Hiranyaksha, Hiranyakashipu, and then also when they also
go back to their original position, they don't...
to the original place, not here. Okay, so how is this different?
Because they are not demons to begin with.
Okay.
They are devotees.
They just play. Yeah, it's not always clear for me, like...
So now it is clear.
Yeah, thank you.
So Sri Sukha Uvacha Sukham Sapuriyam Nivasan Dwarkayam Shriyapati Sarva Sampat Samriddhayam Jashtayam Vrishnipungavaihi. So Sukadeva Goswami is now concluding the pastime of Sri Krishna, 10th canto. So now he just describes his Madhurya sweet Leela with his wives in Dwarka. So that's the subject of this chapter. Krishna is playing with his wives. So Krishna here, who is the husband of Lakshmi or Rukmani Devi, he lived happily in his own city of Dwarka, which was supremely opulent. Limit of opulence is in Dwarka. Sarva Sampat Samriddhayam Jushtayam Vrishni Pungavai. And he was surrounded by the best of the Vrishnis, the Yadavas who were with him. Navti Tame Jal Kelau Mahishinam Prem Vechitri Yadav Ganana Shakti Leela Nam Nityata Chokta. So this is the summary of this chapter. In chapter number 90, first there is a description of Krishna's water sports with his wives. Then there is description of the wives' Prem Vechitti state, how out of prema they feel as if they are in separation. And Yadav Ganana Shakti Leela Nam Nityata. And it is described also that there are unlimited Yadavas, you cannot count them. And also how Krishna's pastimes are eternal. So these four things described. Atha madhurena samapiyet iti nyayena Krishnasya jal viharam varnayan prathama uddipanattvena nagar ramnikayam aha sukham ityadi. So there is a principle of madhurena samapayet, that you should end the story with sweet description. It is not good that you bring tragedy in the end of the story. So therefore Indian stories don't have tragedy at the end. Like you see Western movies. So this is not allowed in any of the Indian plays written by great poets in Sanskrit. No tragedy ending. There may be problems in between, but the last part is sweet. So because the principle that you eat your meal, then at the end you should finish with sweets. Not that you are eating chilies in the end and your mouth is burning. So then you feel satisfied. The sweet completes the meal. So therefore he is describing the water sports of Krishna. But before he describes the water sports, he described the Uddipan Vibhav in the form of describing the city of Dwarka. Nagar Ramaniya Kamaha, the beauty of the city. Tad grihesu tasam grihesu remeti anvay. So in these houses he enjoyed with his wives, which is the description coming later on. Grihesu ramana maha pratfullaiti vasitani amliyani yani toyani. So now the description of the city. Strivishchauttam veshabhir navyavana kanti bhihi kandukadi bhi harmeshu kridanti bhi stadidyu bhi. So he was surrounded by a lot of women, we know that. And these ladies were all very nicely dressed and they were all youthful, always youthful and brilliant. And in these palaces they were also playing with ball, I don't know, maybe soccer. What kind of ball game they will play? Volleyball? Right? Soccer. Beach ball. Kanduka means ball. So at the time of Krishna also there was some game with the balls.
Babaji, this is between the wives and Krishna, or
And the wives also play among themselves.
because if I was thinking if it is between wives, generally we have, at least in Vraj areas, this Genda Phool Vilas they'll do. Genda Phool Vilas, flower balls. There's one whole Leela description like that. So
No, but
maybe
this is not just flower; these are balls.
balls.
The description of this, where else it comes? About the Devhuti. Remember, Devhuti was playing with a ball on the roof of the palace. She was the daughter of the king, Swambhu. And then when Deva was going in the plane, he saw the beauty, he fell down from the plane. Without that, what is it called? Parachute. Without parachute. Must have had some fractures. Kanduka is also, in one more place it comes. I don't know if Mohini was also playing with the ball when the Devas were fighting, running after the Amrita. I think she came, she was also playing with the ball. So that is one way to attract men. That's why it is being described, because this is Uddipana Vibhav. Playing with ball is also Uddipana, excitant. So Kridanti bhi, so they are playing Tadidyubhi, and they are shining like lightning. Nityam Sankul Margayam Madachyuta Bhir Matangajai Solankritai Bhatairasvai Rathaischa Kankojvalai. So this is describing Dwarka, that how the streets are full of very powerful elephants from whose temples this juice is seeping out, which is a sign of youth of the elephant. And they are decorated, they are soldiers, horses, chariots, golden chariots, Kanakojjali. Udyanupvanadhyayam pushpita drumarajeshu nirvishad bhringa vihangai naditayam samantata. And then outside the city there are beautiful gardens, fruit gardens, flower gardens, and there are nice trees having flowers and fruits. So there is no lack of fruits and flowers. And there are the bumblebees which are entering into the trees to get the nectar from the flowers. And there are birds which are singing, Naditayam Samantate, all around the city. And Reme Sodas Sahasra Patni Nam Ekavallabha Tavad Vichitra Ruposau Tadgrihesu Mahardishu. And Krishna played there with these 16,000 wives alone. He was the one husband of these 16,000 wives, and they are all dressed very nicely. The houses were very opulent, and they will dress in different ways and play there together with each other. Protfulla utpal kalhara kumudam bhojarenubhi vasitamal toyeshu kujadajit dujakuleshu cha. And there were nice lotus flowers, blue lotus, yellow lotus, white lotus, red lotus, full of the parag. And this was Vasitamalatoya, there were ponds and lakes, so the parag is falling from them and making the water fragrant, and it is very pure, Amiltoyas. And Kujada Dvija Kuleshucha, and there are birds which are chirping around there. So Vasitani Amlani Yani Toyani Teshu. The waters all very fragrant because of these flowers. Vijahara Vihangambo Radini Shud Mahodayaha Kuchkumchuma Liptanga Parirabdhascha Yoshitam. And Krishna, he played with these queens there in the lakes which were full of water. So he was throwing water at them like water sports, and this water, it got mixed with the kumkum from the breasts of the queens and went around their body. Upagiyamano gandharvai mridanga panvanakan Vadiyadbhirmuda Vrinam Sutamagada Vandibhi. And at that time when they are playing, there is also music going on. So there are Gandharvas, and there are Sutas, Magadas and Vandis. There is various varieties of singers, bards who are expert in reciting slokas. So they are singing with musical instruments, mridangas, panvanaka, anaka, veenas. So these instruments, percussion instruments, string instrument, flutes, etc. And Sityamano Achutastabhir Hasantibhi Smare Chakaihi Pratisanchan Vichri Kride Yakshibhiri Yaksharadiva. And the queens, they are having the syringes, so they are making him wet, drenching him with water by throwing water with the rechaka. Rechaka means syringes, pichkari in Hindi. And then Krishna is also Pratisanchan, he is also throwing water back at them. And in this way, they are very much absorbed in the play, just like the Yaksha plays with the Yakshinis. Yakshas, associates of Kubera in the Himalayas. So this is the description of their play. Tadagadi toya samanyesu ramana muktva nadishu ramana mahe vijaharati. So first they are playing in the lakes, then they are playing in the rivers. Parirabdhascha arthat tabhi. And then they are embracing, the queens are embracing Krishna. Rechakair jalachepaka yantra visheshai. Rechakai means the instruments to throw water at each other. And yakshibhiriti dharshtyam drishtansa. And this example of Yaksha and Yakshini playing together, this is to show their dharshya, means without any inhibition, very openly, boldly. Generally queens are shy, they are not very open, but now when they are playing, they have given up their shyness. So we'll stop here. There is more description of their water play. Let them continue to play till tomorrow. What is the hurry to stop the play? Okay, is there any question? All right. Sandeep.
So, if you said that the ending is with sweet, the Madhurya, with Madhurya, so why not this Vraj? Leela?
How will he go back now from there? After he never went to Vraj. I mean, you already know that. Once he came to Mathura, he never returned. So how will he bring the story of Vraj here?
Okay.
Raslila was over in the first half.